I stopped recording, then I forgot to re-record. Anyway, hello. Indiepocalypse Radio. This is the show where I do stuff and I talk to people. I'm Andrew. I'm the host of the show. Wecky from Hot Pope in issue 75 Indiepocalypse is here. Hello again.
Hello.
Perfect reset. We're all ready and wide awake. And anyhow, so I have, to start off to you, a variation of the standard Indiepocalypse question, which is usually, hey, how'd you find this thing? But a variation of it, because I was like, so, hey, did you know what this thing was when I emailed you?
No, I didn't. I saw it around on itch.io, but
Right.
I never I see like, oh, it's a zine, and then they like feature like indie games and stuff. I never like really thought about it or like submitting to it.
Right.
But I had seen it around, yeah.
Okay. That is my perfect intent of inviting people to into Indiepocalypse, of people who like don't know what it is. They're like, huh? I don't know what this thing is.
Yeah.
Or like have a vague, loose awareness of it, you know. What's the point of inviting people to the thing if they were just going to submit at some point anyway?
Yeah, that's fair.
But if people are unfamiliar with Hot Pope, how would you describe it to them?
It's like this short puzzle game. It's like made in RPG Maker. It's basically about, I don't know, it kind of takes place in this like sort of like almost like sci-fi, ambiguously, I guess, like sci-fi world. I don't know, it has this, it's kind of more focused on having this more aesthetic, artistic experience than having like a super solid story.
Right.
So it's kind of like there's like puzzles, but it's like really like loose and open to interpretation, like what the actual plot is.
Yeah, well, you know, that's, hey, video games can do with more of that, you know, you know, just general ambiguity.
Yeah.
I think a lot about talking to someone once, and they were like, I thought, you know, I was going to preface, I've said this before on the show, but I think that's just the nature of all shows where you say things before. But I think a lot about someone who was once talking about their game, and they were talking about they didn't want to rip off another game because of the way that they conveyed, like they wanted to move between the past and the present or something, or you know, two. Me
Are you
again.
coming out again?
No, yeah, I'm back. Hello.
Hello.
We are having sensitive microphone days, or I think it might be sensitive wire. I'm hoping sensitive wires. I might just need to get a new wire. But if I'm still enough and don't move around enough, I don't hit my wire, I'm usually fine. But they were like, oh, but I want to rip off how this other game moved between these two time periods. I'm like, you can just do it like, because they like how their character, it was like how the character transferred consciousness or something. I was like, can you just do it like artistically? Like,
yeah.
I think people will like figure it out if you don't have to like literally follow the player character exactly there, like from these different things, you know.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of like people when they're like, especially if they like read or like look at a lot of other media, because I don't know, I actually read like a lot of visual novels,
Right.
And like, yeah, they're usually like kind of like really direct. Well, not all the time, but like sometimes they're like really direct with their storytelling, and I kind of did that too. Oh, people are not gonna give me a sec.
Yeah.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, I feel like
visual novels, they're really direct sometimes, but
oh yeah. And like I don't know, when I was like in like some other games that I made, like I've also had this like more direct style of storytelling. But when I thought about it, I was like, I don't know, when the storytelling is like so direct, it's like there's not much to like think about. Like after you finish the game, it's like, oh cool.
right.
That was a story, had in the beginning and an end. It's like now I like don't know what to think. Like there's not a lot to like reimagine, or there's like no like real way to adapt it. So like when I was making Hot Pope, I was like, I don't know, I'll try to make something more like open ended.
Right, because you can get caught in the like the I don't know, the narrative trap of what if I just made what happens exactly just what happens, and you know, you leave it all on the page.
Yeah, and you put like too many details.
Right, or like work on the assumption that what is happening in the game is what literally is happening. You know.
Yeah.
I think that is like a not something. I think that is one of the most specific things in games, maybe because people, are playing them. They feel more connected, so maybe that's
Yeah.
why they're usually like less, or like they're more literal than other mediums
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like if you're like reading a book, like you just have words and you literally have all of that to
Right.
imagine. But then in a video game, it's like you have like the whole world's in front of you. There's the graphics and there's things to look at.
Right, right, and a lot of people accept pretty readily in books like what is written maybe isn't what literally is happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
We understand that characters can be metaphors for things,
Hmm.
but how can Mario be a little metaphor for things? He's a guy that runs around and jumps on things.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Um, so wait, oh yeah, so to get relating to the making of art, there's a question here. It's a long one. But it is almost even semi related to what was being talked about in the pre-show between all of us in private. The question is, I'm going to speed through because it's very long. Well, I'm going to say the
Okay.
question first, and then this is a classic, a question and a comment. Um,
Mm.
so the question is, how do you feel? How do you deal with burnout and the fear that nobody might play your game? And the comment, of course, I've been on and off trying to work on my games, and sometimes I feel like it won't be worth it in the end. I've put a lot of years into working on these projects, and I fear that when I finally have the courage to publish them, people will barely notice them. Marketing is a huge part of it, but I just don't know if I'm going with the game dev process wrong or not. Um,
Mm.
so, how do you deal with burnout and the idea that maybe you'll put something on the internet that nobody will play?
That's a tough question. It's something I think about a lot too. Um, I don't know. I feel like I don't know, a lot of like the games that I make and the stuff that I work on, I'm kind of mostly think of it as like practice, is what I mean. Like it's not really like I don't try to put like 100% or spend like a billion hours trying to work on like every project. Like I think it's important to get practice and get like a lot of experience so that I could like I don't know, like I'm hoping that like one day I can make a project that I feel like more confident in, that I spend more time in,
Right.
and then like I could like put all my all into marketing that. But I like couldn't do that with like every single project because
Yeah.
if I think too hard about oh my god no one's gonna play it, then I'm like literally just not gonna make it.
Right.
If I
Right.
think
Right.
like,
you
so I
cause,
don't know. So I just try to think of it as practice basically.
Yeah, because I think it's too easy to get caught in like the modern hustle of like everything you put on the internet, from like your art to like a post has to be like the most important thing, and
Yeah.
has to get good engagement
Yeah.
and hey, there's always the possibility of don't forget the possibility of being unappreciated in your time, which is
Yeah. Like I don't know.
which is a thing one can be, and you can maybe take solace in that, which is a weird thing. um,
Mm.
but like that's just the weird nature of like art on like the internet, and really pre-internet, of like you're really never going to do much. You're always going to probably do worse than people who can spend a lot of money.
That's true.
Like, or
Like I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, what you're saying?
No, I was just talking, but you can continue on.
And I feel like I don't know. It's also like I don't know. Like when I think about it, like it does make me pretty sad that like there's like a lot of art in the world, and it's like obviously not all of it gets properly engaged with. But
Right.
at the same time, sometimes I feel like, especially like with the internet, there's kind of almost this oversaturation of art, which I love because I like seeing like a lot of people expressing themselves and putting themselves out there. But it's I don't know, with so much art, I guess it's kind of hard to expect engagement with every like I don't know, like deep engagement with every single piece, I think.
Right, because you feel the same way as as an enjoyer of art, of like I want to try all this stuff, and it's like I don't have the time
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like I can't dang, I have my games backlog, bro.
Right,
I
right,
really
right.
can't get through all of it. Like, yeah.
And it's like it's how do I add to all of these things? How do I continue to just like it's why I've at one point like stopped worrying about I think a lot about the easiest way is to think about how youth do things, you know. um,
Yeah.
where I'm like, or in the past I would worry like, why aren't people like paying attention to what I'm doing? But I was like, I like there's plenty of stuff I came to 6 years after it started,
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah, exactly.
even if I was like way into it, sometimes you just like don't immediately get around to stuff,
Yeah.
and maybe people don't get around to your stuff for years and
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. Like, I don't know. I think it's like, I don't know. As long as you like made it and you put it out in the world, I feel like that's, I don't know. I feel like that's pretty good.
Right, right, and like you know, I think the thing I think a lot about is like the trap of uh, oh yeah, well this thing like every single thing has got to hit big, and if it doesn't, you just forget
Mm.
about it and you throw it away, and then you move on to the next thing. When I think there's like really the possibility, like oh, don't like neglect your old work.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I know. I always try to like document my old work so I don't like forget about it. Because like, I don't know. Even if no one else like plays it, like it's interesting for me to like come look at it again, like in a few years later.
Right, and I think like it because game dev like lacks you come through game dev through other so did you come through game dev like from sort of like illustration work and other like art before going into game making?
Yeah, yeah. From illustration, yeah.
Yeah, so you presumably, if not done, are well aware of the kind of like robust convention scene for illustrators.
Yeah. It's very tough.
Yes, it's a different kind of toughness. It is also tough on its own, but it's also like a space where like your work can exist like evergreen.
Yeah.
Where kind of like games don't have those in the same way, or they're like
Yeah.
on a much larger scale, so it's a lot harder to be like, oh hey, I of course came to the convention with all the latest animes that you're all a fan of, but look at it. You can also sometimes sneak your own book there. Look at this thing that I made
Yeah,
by
yeah, yeah.
myself. Or highlight old illustrations that you like, and it's harder to do like with games because like without like conventions have the luxury of like people are going there to see stuff. Like how do you get someone to your itch page?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't know, people will, like, I don't know, especially because like conventions are kind of more based on like fan art and stuff,
Yeah,
and like original, and games are normally like more original. It's a little more difficult to get someone to go look at your itch page unless it's like, oh, I made a fan game.
right.
Like,
Yes, the I've seen artists at like I like there was an artist I saw at both like a local indie comic show and an anime convention, and their booths were entirely different booths.
yeah.
Like I don't think they even brought any of their original. They had like 4 or 5 original comics and zines, and it was like strictly fan art at an anime con.
Mm, yeah.
So
The market's very different.
right, right. You need your favorite animes to like pay for the booths.
Yeah, exactly.
Like very difficult to get someone to buy in on your original work for better or for worse. Like I get why people like the things that they already know, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a tricky thing like riding that balance. Of
Yeah, for sure.
so how has the experience of getting into games like uh you know like what was the feeling like getting into trying games of like what was the first, I guess, maybe what was the first impulse of like, hey, I want to try making a game or work on games?
Mm, I don't know. I guess it's because like I like knew like for like a long time, like maybe ever since like elementary school, I was like, I want to work on games, but it's
Okay.
like I didn't like know much about programming, and then like one day in high school, I saw, oh, RPG Maker is on sale, and then I was like, you know what? That's like it's pretty streamlined. Like you don't need to have knowledge about programming to get
No.
into RPG Maker. So I was like, yeah, let's try it. And then I tried it, and then I was like, dang, this is like fun because it's interesting. There's like all these like games are so like I guess like multi-medium. Like there's
Yeah.
like sound design that goes into it. There's like the graphics, and then there's like writing the story. And I don't know, I just like thought it was like really interesting getting to work on like all of those things like at once to create like a final project. And I don't know, from there I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this. This is fun.
Right, because it's like it's nice that because like RPG Maker and stuff like that are like very handy tools for
Yeah,
like just getting into like if you're gonna crack open like Godot or like Unreal or whatever, it feels, though it has a lot of tools, it can sometimes feel like the equivalent of like, oh, you want to play music, make a guitar. You're like, wait a minute.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
uh,
Mm.
it's like, no, I understand like the logistics of what I like. You have to deal with this entire thing that like might be like not related to your artistic impulses in any way, but you just have to deal with this
Yeah.
programming thing. Whereas, something like an RPG Maker helps you skip that process and go, I just want to do the stuff that I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't know, it's like really intuitive and you can figure out like exactly like what it is that you like in video games. What part of development that you like the most.
Right, and you can kind of like slowly pick up bits and pieces of like how games sort of work,
Yeah, yeah.
when you're like, oh, I want to try something that's a little out of the box, and especially old stuff like RPG Maker has like
Mm.
mountains of resources of like people have already tried it long before
Yeah,
you,
exactly. Exactly.
and they're ready to, or someone on a forum has already asked that question you're ready to ask, and and ideally it's been answered.
Yeah.
The worst case I've run into is like sometimes the question has never been answered, and you're like, wait a minute, well,
Yeah, I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to ask myself in the
yes,
forum. I'll just make a post about it.
salute to
And
you.
then someone will answer it within like, I don't know, maybe like an hour. I don't know, they're pretty fast there, honestly.
Yeah, and it's the interesting like also people like want other people to make games,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
which is it can. I think that's why the pleasure of the more like hobbyist, and this is even related to the question of like the hobbyist game dev side. You can be a hobbyist. That's actually how you
Yeah.
avoid all the burnout entirely.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's like, oh well, I don't have to worry about selling my games. I don't have to worry about getting a ton of people to pay attention to it. You're like, kind of
Yeah.
wild if like 100 people pay attention. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know, even getting like 10 downloads is pretty crazy. It's like, wow, people decide to actually download this
Yeah,
and not
right.
just like leave it in their and not just like leave it in their backlog. They downloaded it and maybe hopefully they opened it.
Right. And in like the scope of human existence, the idea that any random artist can get 10 people look at their things is like a new exciting phenomenon.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're out
Like, I
there
don't know,
like
10 people is a lot.
what was
Like 10
that?
people is almost like 10 people is like, I don't know, that's almost like the size of an art class. Like that's
Yeah.
not bad. Like, I don't know.
Right. Imagine if your whole art class like if you made something your entire class liked it. That's a lot
Yeah,
of
like
that's a lot of people.
exactly, yeah.
But I think the internet has a way of like warping our brain to like infinite
Mhm.
scale.
Yeah.
So you can like always find someone who's doing better. No matter what you do, you can always find someone who's doing better than you.
Yeah, definitely.
Who's
But I don't know, I
got
feel like that's what makes it fun though. I don't know.
right.
I like seeing like other people's work and then like being like, oh, I want to do that too. Like when I see
Yeah, right.
someone like, draw really well or if they do something really interesting with their game, I'm like, I want to try doing that too.
Right. It's about turning it into like inspiration instead of despair.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Of like, oh, this person is like a peer who is doing something cool, not like some unattainable deity who's like doing work that I could never do.
Yeah.
And it's also there is, I don't know. It's also so much of it. Most success is also extremely random. you know,
Yeah, that's true.
it's basically like having money, knowing people, or some combination of that, and just basically internet lottery.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like when you divorce things from like their success and ask yourself like why is this game better than that game, you like it's a harder question to answer, I think.
Yeah.
Like why does someone like if it had zero of the marketing budget, if AAA games were made exactly how they were, but it had all the marketing budget and reach of just some random person on Itch.io, would they also still rise to the top, or would they then kind of mire in obscurity, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Marketing like definitely plays like a huge role in like having connections.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And it's easy. You're like, well, it's the fault of my work. If my work was better enough, and then you just remind yourself, no, the
Mhm.
meritocracy is made
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Like it's not about like things aren't necessarily popular because they're good. Like they might maybe they'll stay popular
Yeah,
when it's good, but I think a lot of it they usually get their initial like wave of attention from like I don't know, I guess like fame that already existed.
yeah, right. It's it's but it's hard. But you don't see that stuff. You don't see
Yeah.
when someone's like, our game did so XYZ. You don't see like, also here's our marketing budget.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's all the marketing we did. Here's all the baked in connections we had. That's why we had 30 articles written about us.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not gonna like compile that into a list and be like, yeah, this
Right,
is all we know. They're
right,
not gonna do that. They're just gonna show the game.
right. Well, when someone wins the race, they don't point out that they started 50 meters ahead of you.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, oh no, I just made the better game, so of course it did better.
Mm,
Uh, and that applies to all art. I think
yeah, yeah.
I, I think a lot about the joke of, don't ask indie musician why their parents have blue names on Wikipedia.
Mm.
There's just the infinite amounts of success and abilities to fail.
Yeah.
Which I feel like grants people a lot of advantages that you wouldn't otherwise think about. I think I think a lot about there's an article about blueprints, and it was like, I can't spend 80 hours a week working on my next game, and I'm like, hey, where'd you get 8 hours in the week to work that, buddy? you know
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair.
yeah, it's easy to get caught up and go, wait a minute, this these people had a lot of advantages that the average person, most artists are probably working a full-time job, or
Yeah.
something, and can't, and then if they have the energy at the end of the day, then commit another 8 hours to working on art, and then when do you sleep, and when do you eat, and when do you
Exactly.
live the rest of your life?
Yeah. Like I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times I end up like almost like devoting like even though I kind of think of like game dev as like a hobby to me,
Right.
there's like a point where I feel like I'm like almost devote like all of my time to art and just like drawing and thinking about game dev stuff.
Yeah, I think it works if it's fun. If you're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
a thing. Hobbies are things that people often do for fun. you know
Mm.
it's when you don't want to do it, and then you're like, but I have to do it,
Yeah, when it
or
becomes like
else.
an obligation. Yeah.
Right. And that's the first the first sign of I'm about to burn myself out, and then I just don't do anything
Yeah,
anymore.
definitely.
uh
Yeah. I think if it starts to feel like an obligation, then you're like definitely gonna like run out of steam at some point.
right. And then I'll take you know work a few less days on it, not do it on the weekends. Instead of working on it, I'll do something else.
Yeah.
There are surely people, since I've started doing this, that have been in Indiepocalypse and then burnt out of game dev, in the process of
Uh,
doing this for 6 years.
yeah.
And that is surely inevitability, and it's yeah, I don't know. There's no secret to it, They just kind of
Not everyone can keep going, yeah.
right. And that's fine. I think needing it to be a thing or whatever is what burns people out the most. But
Mm.
speaking of persistence, hey Wacky, what's your favorite type of rock?
My favorite type of rock?
Yeah,
Well, I like J-rock.
perfect, perfect. Any particular era, or any period, or just a kind of a sweeping statement?
I don't know, kind of more like a sweeping statement, I guess, yeah.
Perfect. No, that is This is not a show where this is not gotcha journalism. We're not here to catch you. Uh, and second question. These are of course with no lead-in questions that people had asked for a while until I integrated them as regular parts of the show because I like them as Rorschach tests that say something about people maybe. What's your favorite? Do you? This is a do. This is not a required question to be answered if you have no answer for it. But do you have a favorite Toho character?
Toho? No, I don't know much about Toho.
That is
Even though a lot
perfectly
of my
fine.
friends like Toho. Yeah.
It is not a requirement. And I mean, and plenty of times on this show, no need to apologize. Plenty of times people go, I don't even know what that is.
I have too many Toho friends. I feel really bad about like not knowing much about it.
Oh, I mean, isn't that like, if the internet has ruined one thing, it's that needing us all. I love it when my friends don't like the same things that I like because I don't like all the same things they like.
Mm.
And then it's like, hey, we can tell us about the things that we like the other person does. But Wecky, thank you for joining me here today on this show.
Yep. It was fun, yep.
Thank you. Where is my... Well, I don't know. Oh, it's on my second monitor. I was like, where is OBS? I found it. It's unmoved on my second monitor. We'll be back in roughly 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Goodbye for now. So no, that was Say Sue Me with Honk with their cover of Honk If You're Lonely, which is like my often official song of kicking off summer because it's a good, very different vibes between covers. It's a good cover. But speaking of covers, are kind of like repeats. And speaking of repeats, you have a repeat guest here on the show. As I can tell by I plucked them from the depths of my long collection of pictures that I save for these reasons specifically.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's Mostima from Arknights. That's
Yes,
whoa.
that was the picture you gave me. I don't know, 2 years ago.
Oops.
Then I'm like, did I bother to ask for another one? Yes, that's an exceptional cover. That's off a Say Sue Me album that has I think all covers or mostly covers on it. It's cool stuff. Mocha's here. Hello, Mocha. Welcome.
Hi.
VTuber, game maker, etc.
Etc.
The etc. of it all. And now gainfully employed. I think since the last time we've spoken. Gainfully,
Yeah,
I say.
I was like,
As much as we can say within indie games.
I think so. I mean, I got insurance through my job.
That's as gainful as you can get.
Yeah, that's as good as as one can hope for. But yeah, I was like also trying to get a pulse on exactly when was the last time we called. But yeah, I was properly employed because I think the last time that that I was on the show, it was around the time that Bury the Hatchet released.
Yes.
I want to say yes. Okay, so that was.
I think it was definitely, to get into local minutia, I think it was definitely you, and it was meeting you and Bug of the Devil at Boston, like a Boston game dev demo night. And I was like, people who make games that I know, what are they doing here?
I think that is like that same night was, is it the one that was like, I don't want to like say exact locations, but it was like in an outdoor area, or was it an indoor area? Yeah, in that outdoor area, that is like that very night was so gainful for me because I was showing off Bury the Hatchet and I was showing it on a big screen, and then the person who was to become my boss, we had like interacted somewhat beforehand, and she had talked about like potentially hiring me for something, but like, things seemed like they were gonna fall through. But then she saw Bury the Hatchet, and then she played Bury the Hatchet, and then like a week later she was like, hey, I know are you still down to interview?
Yeah.
So many fruitful endeavors from that night.
Yes, the benefit of like going out to events where one can go out to events, of
Mhm.
when possible, as someone who's like already thinking about not going to an event tomorrow because I don't feel like it.
Yeah. This was it was actually because last week we saw each other
Yes.
at a in-person convention of some sort, and I had a wonderful time there. I learned a
Yes.
lot. It was great. It was also like one of the first conventions I had gone to, game dev related business conventions I had gone to in a while that I had like absolutely no goals of like, oh, I need to promote this thing
Right.
or I need to promote myself or whatever. So it was very refreshing in that regard
Right.
because there were no stakes. It could
Yes.
go however it wanted to. I loved it. Um,
I yearn for those days.
it's it was beautiful, but I low key like leading up to the event, I was like, I would because I had a very uh, I told myself before this, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about work at all, but
Yes.
my work has affected me so much recently,
Right.
positively. It's just like been a thing that I've been doing.
Right. You just have to do a lot of it.
Yeah. We had a very big deadline with the combination of we were on summer gaming fest, gaming
Right.
like the homosexual
With
kind.
the emphasis on the Y and that little sneaky Y
Yeah.
in there.
Exactly, exactly. And then we had Steam Next Fest coming on, so that kind of 1-2 punch for me was like rough. And then I was like, oh, and then I still gotta make my business cards.
Right. And then you have to
I
like go to a place that's hours and
gotta
hours
go to,
away.
yeah, dude, and like the train situation,
Oh yes,
like
I heard.
they axed like the most convenient train for me. So instead of like a 40-minute or not train bus, they
Yeah.
axed it. So instead of like for one of the legs of the journey, instead of taking like a 45-minute bus, it was like a 3 to 4 hour like two train stupid triangle situation. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's just I was frowning.
That is
But then yeah.
that is me when I'm like whenever I think about taking a train to Toronto, I'm like, Toronto's so close. Can I take a train there? It's like, no, because you have to go down to New York and then wait like 18 hours.
Yeah, idiot.
What do you what
How
do you
dare
mean?
you?
This place is an hour flight away. Why should it be a convenient train ride away?
You want to go to a location? I hope that you die.
That's the
Like,
that is the inevitable feeling, which is misfortune. Is I'm a person who keeps going to locations.
yeah. It's true. I'll go to a location and I'll be like, wow, Indiepocalypse there again.
That is, if you are at a location that has video games, and I can, in theory, set up a table there, you will likely see me in the near future. I
And that's a threat.
It is. It's a threat. I am constantly updating this little arrow going to. Because I'm on my way to Minneapolis next month. You know,
Oh wow.
tr- trying out SGDQ.
Oh wow. Oh, that's so exciting. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so excited for SGDQ.
Right.
I really like just having it passively on the monitor
Yes.
and like summer, hot, popsicle, sweaty, no AC, beautiful, beautiful dream night for me.
Yes, I am gonna be living. I'm gonna have a lot of luxurious AC as I am in a convention center hotel the entire time.
Just kind of a fridge situation.
Yeah, but I'm hoping it's a good one. Like that's talking about game events in like the previous segment. Game events are weird in that there's like not a lot of them. Or they're all huge scale.
Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely an issue, I guess. Or maybe issue is like too strong, but that's that like I'm kind of craving for like a middle space right now
Yeah.
where there are a lot of events that I would like to go, but that are so small scale, as in like maybe 30 people tops are going to attend.
Right.
That I would like to attend, but I'm like, well, if I like want a table at this, it's like that's going to be like at least like a day or two of my life, not to mention like traveling,
Yes.
it's not convenient for me to go to these events at the moment, and so I basically always end up not going to them. Or it's like so high scale that it's like, well, I'm not. I don't want it to be that serious.
Yes, or it's like it's something a decision that I as an individual cannot make. I hope the company goes or whatever, and they let me go.
Yeah. Yeah, for certain.
Because it is. But yeah, but like as as is the luxury of the event we speaking of so vaguely, which is just Narrowscope.
Yeah. Narrowscope, a wonderful event that I took so many notes on.
Yes, I took 0 notes on because I do not really watch talks, or I watch them after the fact, and I've been too busy to do that as of late. But because that is an ideal, like very low key, relaxed event.
Yeah, I liked how casual it was, and like, I don't know if you went to like the keynote speakers.
The first one, I was too late for the second one.
Oh, I was going to say specifically the second one, there was like a lot more not safe for work talk than I was expecting, which I did enjoy. I was like, oh, I guess we can just, I mean, this isn't an event for adults, so I guess it's fine that we're talking about this in this endeavor. But it was like it was a fun change. It was nice to see because like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, there's like with a lot of business events, there's like a sense of censorship around it, which on like one hand is understandable. It's like, well, like it depends on the crowd you're talking to and the amount of the lowest common denominator,
right?
Sort of a situation.
I did not see any kids running around when I was there.
Nope.
No, that's a lie. I did see kids running around.
There was a pool that people were. That children were playing in. That was also, sorry, not to like talk too much about this event. Did you not think that campus was crazy beautiful?
Yes,
I was shocked. It was like a
Roman everywhere.
Video game level. If to the beautiful viewers at home, search up University at Albany and just look at this beautiful campus. I don't know if it'll like come across and like open up Google Street View or whatever and just like wander through it, because
I'm sure the campus is taking some nice glamour shots of their campus. One would hope.
It's so beautiful. I was really, really lovely place. It would be made more lovely if any of the eateries on campus were open during the event.
Yes.
But
or there were really any nearby. I mean, there were some, but
there was I think it was called unmade grounds or whatever. It was like a bagel place that was really good.
Yes, I think it was that in like that. Let's keep digging into this hyperlocal stuff. Was it in like that shopping center, that large shopping center? I think.
It was like right on the edge of campus.
Okay.
Like literally, you would. There was also like a chicken place right by it. I don't know. I was not driving. My beautiful friend was driving.
Yes.
And I was just kind of playing passenger princess on my phone, and not paying attention.
The beautiful life. If only I was driving everywhere. I am a solo. I have no close friends with. My friend group is also not a game dev group, so it's like I'm going to a thing. It's me.
It's you.
It's me. But it's fun because then I go see all the people there. I'm like, oh, it's all these people that I know.
Whoa.
What are they all doing here?
Who's to say?
I get to put all these faces to all these names that I'm vaguely aware of that bounce around in my head.
It is cool. I like low-key, I have been having a bit of a crisis on that on the note of like friend groups who are involved or not involved in game dev.
Right.
I like, okay, crisis is too strong a word,
Yeah.
but I did realize that like basically all of my friends are involved in indie dev in one way or another.
Right.
Specifically, recently it's been less so actually because like for the first time in like I think 9 years, I've like started indulging in fandom stuff again, which is very fun and
Yeah.
it's really wonderful getting to be cringe and free and stupid. Um, but I as a result of like basically my only hobby is like things related to game development. It's just I'm very fortunate that the thing that like brings me rest and relaxation is also something that like can contribute positively to my career.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's definitely created a concentration of like all my friends are involved in games in some way, or at least are adjacent to it. Like I know a lot of musicians who will occasionally do music work for games and
Right.
whatever, or like YouTubers who will talk about games and whatnot. And that's all well and good, but I've definitely been feeling like, I like would love to know more people
Yeah.
with different life experience than me
Exactly.
because it becomes a bit of a doomy echo chamber of
Yeah.
fear over the game industry.
I have thought on occasion. I think I was even thinking of it of during that weekend, or might even vocalize it during this weekend. That like might even said to you. I was like, can't remember who I said it to, but the idea of if I stop this entire project, like hundreds of like social connections just vanish. I think
Oh yeah, huh.
because like suddenly my people's connections to me vanishes. Like
Hmm.
and thinking of like, oh, what is my work? How much of my worth is tied to my work? And it's like I'm just not going to think about that. It's a
Yeah.
it's just a weird thing to like because the dream is, oh well, I get out of like I burnt out of games, I'm done with this thing, but hey, we can all hang out still. And it's like no.
Uh,
Speaking of burnout, I would in that first question, I would recommend, hey, getting friends outside of if you can, if you can get them, friends outside of games and art helps because like they have a different perspective on that thing too, and they don't really have that same doomerism of like they're like I just go to my 9 to 5. What are you talking about?
yeah. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's a weird thing because it's like I'm so lucky to have the job
Right.
that I do. And even outside of the job that I do, I'm even more lucky that I have found some measure of success in my like solo endeavors and whatnot. Though I've been like really dropping the ball. I haven't uploaded a YouTube video since February, and I've started getting asks that are like, "Oh my gosh, I hope that you come back soon." And I'm
Right.
like, "Oh, I'm sorry. The guilt is haunting me on a daily basis."
Right. And success is always very made up. Like I joke a lot about uh, you know, Indiepocalypse as indie games leading failure story. But it does like well, all things considered, like
Mhm.
for what it is. Like it pulls down like it doesn't have it like how do I described it my description of it is like uh something that everybody knows about but nobody talks about.
Mhm.
And I think that can like that's I think can be the hardest thing to like reconcile with when you don't get like 7,000 likes on a thing.
Mhm.
But he's like social media is very bad at visibly showing like how well you're doing, and like and then when you get like a singular comment that says when you're coming back, that's like, oh right, that
Someone cares.
right, that can outweigh whatever large numbers I have on my thing can be offset by, hey, this one person is actually like actively checking in, feels realer.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely those sorts of comments that like hit the most. Like, wow, I meant like it is one thing to be noticed by someone, and
Right.
then it's like a completely other thing to have your lack of presence noticed by someone. Because
Right.
it's like, wow, there was enough of an impact in this person's life in the stuff that I make that like they don't just like want more of it, they want more of it in a in a way that it feels lacking if they don't have it, which is incredibly flattering.
Yes, I
Um,
think all of us in life deserve to get one Tom Sawyer watch his own funeral for free, and everyone just lets us do it once, just because we just want to know, you know.
yeah, it's
Like
like who would be crying?
right, if we stopped and everyone acknowledges like it's fine that they fake quit or whatever,
Yeah.
but you only get
Everyone
to
everyone does like a little fake wasn't there like a controversy a while back of like these two dudes who had like a YouTube channel and then they faked having cancer and faked dying.
that sounds right. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it is baked into the PR strategy for indie games that you go on social media and complain that no one is covering your game.
Yeah, and
Like,
you're like, it takes $0 to support, and if you retweet my thing, da da da.
yes, right, exactly. I feel like that is baked into like if that's part of our plan. We're gonna so we get a lot of wish lists. Make sure you do next fest. Complain about how the industry's so hard, and you put all your things to. I can't believe you got 0 retweets. Let's get some more retweets on this. Like it just
Hmm.
to the point where it feels insincere now.
Yeah, like this is actually something like I'm like, oh, you're tickling something that I'm like annoyed about. And this is like something that like okay, this exact pattern I've seen more in like the VTubing
Right.
sphere of things, though I think it also
I think
exists
yeah.
in the indie dev. But like
It
there's this
just
one specific, oh
yeah.
sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'm sure it exists in every whatever art form you're focused on. This assuredly exists there.
Oh, it's yeah. But like this one specific kind of post that's like, guys, we almost hit 50 followers. Please help me hit 50 followers or 50 subscribers or
Yeah.
whatever. Or like, oh my gosh, I managed to hit 100 subscribers. I can't believe I did it. And they do this for like every single milestone. And I'm like, what is the purpose of of like specifically rather than asking people to look at like whatever you want to call it, the art that you're making, or if you want to
Yes.
call it content or product or whatever, what is the point of asking for um like aiming for milestones rather than aiming like every single tiny milestone rather than like trying to promote the cool thing that you are making and hoping that like oh people will follow you because they like the thing that you're making and not just like a petty thing because
Yeah.
in the long term that's going to hurt you also if like there's any sort of algorithm on like the social media website that you're using because like if you get followers who don't engage with you then the social media is like, oh, so these you must not be like making anything
Yeah.
important and like make it less likely for people to see you.
I
So that's one thing. But then also like I don't know, like it's to be clear, I'm not like against the idea of like celebrating milestones.
right, but it's not.
Actually, yeah.
But you're right. You're describing milestones kind of like existing as their own sort of thing, unrelated to like these milestones should be like a natural like result of people liking what you're making, not like the goal in and of itself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's a good way of putting it. Um, yeah, I was going to say like hypocrite that I am, like literally right before the show for work, we hit like 500 reviews for like a demo on work and hit overwhelmingly positive. So I made like a little celebration post for that.
Right.
So hypocrite that I am.
Yes.
But it's
But you
it's like
there's a difference between like you described it, but you weren't like, hey, let's reach 500, let's reach 50, let's reach 100, and then congratulations, you reached
yeah,
100.
yeah.
Uh,
And like I understand again, like I don't want to like sound like I'm villainizing these people per se because like I get it. It's like we live in a hashtag society where
yes.
like all of this is like encouraged and seen as like since it is like seen as such a metric of success, people will just kind of try and shoot past the process
Right.
and be like, I just want to hit this metric because it means that people will like me or I'll feel validated or whatever. And then ultimately you won't
Yeah,
long term.
I think it makes me think a lot about anecdotally when people were making like their Twitter exodus. People were making a lot of posts like oh, this website's bad anyway. I have 40,000 followers, and then when I post a stream, 100 people watch, and it's like it feels like people like. I don't think that was the algorithm's fault. I think it was just like you were courting attention for something other than what your streams.
Yeah, yeah, for certain.
And so like we haven't the silliness of Blue Sky with like starter packs inflate everybody's numbers and they just don't really mean anything at all.
Hmm.
Like who wants to it's like I want to randomly follow 100 people that I'm not going to pay attention to because it just creates like these arbitrary inflations of things and
It is it is funny that you mentioned starter pack specifically because there's like one specific starter pack that I was added to that recently had a very positive impact on
okay.
me. There was someone I'm very fortunate, but I was added to the starter pack that Insert Disc 5 made. Adrian made like right at the start of Blue Sky really getting anywhere, like end of 2024-ish. And through that starter pack, I became mutuals with this one person. That I met them at Neuroscope in person for the first time, and we had like a really, really, really wonderful discussion. But it was like a situation where we didn't even realize how we became friends with each other. And
Right.
when we were talking about Neuroscope, we were like, oh yeah, wait, we would not be friends if it were not for this one starter pack.
Right.
But now we're oomphs.
There you go. It's there's the outliers to it all. It's
Yeah. I'm just special and beloved by God.
of
So
course, right.
so it works out for me, I guess.
Right. So listen, for me, not for thee, of course.
Yeah.
I barely post at all, and like I said, I mostly do fine. I have my success is wildly outpacing my numbers, so to speak.
Hmm.
Um, I pull down way more than you would think of someone with like I don't know a couple thousand follow, like maybe five. If I pull all of my social media accounts together, I think I have less than 5,000.
Hmm.
But probably pull down way more than that. Kind of the numbers would belie. And I think it's just it's meaningful engagement with people is what it is.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah, I mean, you going, oh, sorry.
no, I was gonna say that starter pack was probably not something you just got added to and just never thought about. And likewise, that other person they probably do similar to what I do. Is whenever someone follows me, I go, "Who is this?" 90% of a chance they're an artist. Let me check who they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that like the fact that like a lot of your interactions with people are in person versus online
Right.
definitely adds like another layer of like, oh, this is like a cool person
Or or
that,
or this thing, my equivalent of meeting in person, of just chatting for online, but verbally for like hours.
yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that like right before this. I'm like, wow, I could, because you've done this what, like basically every week for years now.
This is my 216th episode of this.
Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, I could never like I have like weekly calls with like some friends for like an hour. And I very frequently it's like, oh, sorry, I'm like kind of busy, da 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 da
Uh,
da, I can't
I
make it.
Mocha, I have weekly hangouts with friends for approximately 4 to 5 hours.
Wow, wow,
I
this is crazy stuff for me.
I am in the right context. If I know I'm doing it, and I'm planned ahead. I'm a social being. Uh,
Wow.
but I have to plan for it. I have to know ahead of time. And
I love to sit at my desk all day,
yes,
every day.
like I said,
And it's
I am also
it's
planning
doing
on thinking of going to a social event tomorrow and planning heavily leaning towards what if I just don't go and I just lie around.
Yeah, that sounds pretty lovely.
Because I've been going out so goddamn much.
Yeah.
every other week for like a month almost.
A little brain rot, or yeah, bed rot time.
Yeah, yeah. What if I just relax and like it's hot out? I don't want to go outside in the hot sun.
Yeah.
But
Actually,
speaking,
right now
yeah,
for me, it's really pleasant.
yeah, I'm hot right. It was kind of there was a good breeze, so maybe where I am, it's like, I'm not catching the luck of that breeze and those open windows. I have like little tiny baby windows here at best.
Mm,
But I have a couple questions for you that I've surely asked you already, that I
sure.
have 100% forgotten since then. Because if anyone knows the nature of any kind of live show, podcast, whatever, you say things and then they just kind of leave your brain usually.
Of course.
So rock, what's up? What's your favorite type of rock?
I don't know. I was listening to the question
Yeah.
beforehand and I was like, "Oh, I've a good thing that I'm hearing it now, so I have all this time to think." I don't know. I don't know my taste in rock, the mineral, nor rock, the music. Recently when Spotify did like your top 50 songs of all time,
Yeah.
my taste was so undiscernible that when I showed it to some friends of mine, they're like, the only thing that I have managed to determine about your taste is that it's giving real manic pixie dream girl. So that was like a real humbling
Yeah.
moment for me.
I think music humbles, exposing our music taste humbles the greatest of us.
Yeah, my music taste is like, can I? Oh, my monitor. Okay, sorry. My monitor just like went black for a second
Okay.
and I got real scared.
But you were still here.
Um, but I'm still here. Phew. My music taste kind of amounts to, can I imagine an AMV of my Blorbo or game or whatever to it in my head? And if I can, then it's on the playlist.
I
Um,
I used to the last Friday, or was it first? It was the first or last show of the month. I used to do an AMV night on the show, where it
oh, that's so
was
beautiful.
exclusively AMVs, and then it just fell off the habit. I feel like I need to. I mean, speaking of
Bring her back.
yeah, I was gonna speaking of AMVs, I kind of broke the habit, so to speak. Uh, um, but anyhow, what about Toho? How you feel about that thing? Those little girls
I
running
I I
around shooting at
have
each
not
other.
played. Really, all I know is Reimu, so I guess she's my favorite.
Perfect. That
She's
is,
iconic.
yeah. Weird that you can make like a very standard like costume iconic, but if you put enough little touches on it, it works.
Yeah.
Mocha, we're gonna take one more break here on the show. Thank you for joining me and hanging out today.
Yeah.
We'll be back in like 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Goodbye for now. Hello and welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. That was Courtney Barnett's "Nobody Really Cares If You Don't Go to the Party," a self-fulfilling song for me myself because I don't want to go.
Let's go tomorrow.
For all I say of like, and also hey, Mocha and Wecky are back. Hello everyone.
Yes. Now it's two of us speaking.
Hello. Yes,
You-
sir.
For all I say about like, oh, it's great to go to events, it's great to do this. Sometimes you just don't, and you go,
Yeah.
whatever. If I miss an opportunity, that'll be fine.
That is the thing, isn't it? Where it's like, oh, I don't really want to go to this event, but then it's like, oh, but what if I have a life-changing random moment and I'm like
Yes.
shooting myself in the foot and ruining my career because I wanted to stay home and
Exactly. Missing out on the networking opportunity.
yeah.
And you go, oh well, now I guess I can never make games again or whatever.
Yup.
I am dead forever because I did not go to one singular event, and then it's like, oh, you know what? That's probably fine, honestly. Just as the song says, nobody really cares if you don't go. It's fine.
Yeah.
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 There's like plenty of space to like just hang out. I think that's I think the pleasure of like not burning out. Sometimes you're like, this socialized thing is just like too much for me. I've been going out too much. I'm going to go out again later. I'm also in this weird situation where I've been traveling, across the country and across the world once a week for every other week for the past month. So
you deserve to stay in.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'm just gonna lie around and play video games. That's what I do sometimes on the weekends.
Crazy. Someone involved in indie dev actually playing a video game. This can't be true. Or at least for me, I've been slacking on video. I'm actually playing video games for so long.
Like my frame of reference is very weird, where it's mostly like modern hyper indie stuff for the zine and everything, and then old games. Like at work, I'm playing through like the Ace Investigations, whatever they call it.
Ace Attorney Investigations.
Yes.
That's so terrible that's the game that you said.
I was like, well, I wanted stuff I can like play on like my phone, so I was like, well, I played through like, of course, 999, and then I was like, well, what else is playable on your phone? I guess very visual novel type stuff is very easy to play on my phone. And those are right in the wheelhouse of visual novel type stuff.
Yeah. For certain.
And they're, I like those weird little guys. Sometimes those games are very long.
I have like so many opinions on Ace Attorney Investigation, so I cannot be allowed to talk about it.
I have also been developing a lot of opinions on this game of like, I mean, from the very top level, they do not really distinguish between a defense attorney and a prosecutor in the slightest. It's just the same video game.
Yeah. I like. It's like my hand is twitching. I can't get into it. I've been like, just for like a frame of reference of my obsession with these games recently. But I've been like so desperate to find like more fan art and more people to interact with on this game that I've been like using my friend's dad's Chinese phone number to like make accounts on like Chinese websites.
Oh my God.
To like look at on the website to look at the stuff there and be like, wow, that's cool.
Oh my gosh.
Which is really also the end result of this, like having occasionally go through this desperation of connection of going, you go through all this work and go, oh, that's cool. I did like that piece of fan art. Like, it's not like even like, it's very surface level connection too. But, but like when there's nothing, but when you're in a desert, any drop of water will do. Yeah. It's, I'm gonna like stop this line of it. Like I can't. This is the indie game podcast. You just like triggered my like when you were like Ace Investigations or something. I'm like this. I mean,
we can't be here right now.
This show is not really about anything. This show is really just about bullshit. So, but also, you're not obligated to get into your 300,000 word manifesto on Ace Attorney Investigations,
One of the ideas that I've had for like a smaller video to make for the chat. I don't know if you've gotten to the second game of the Ace Attorney Investigations.
That's the one I'm on right now.
Oh yes, beautiful. But there's this mechanic that they introduced called logic chess.
Oh yes,
which I think is fun in theory, but it ultimately is kind of like a dialogue tree that you need to kind of guess the correct options for sometimes.
Kind of has a timer for some reason.
Yeah, and like I think it's like so close to being right, so I want to redesign it to actually, because for people who don't know, the way that it's called logic chess, but it's just kind of like these characters each have some random floating chess pieces next to their heads, and then they psychically throw them at one
Yes.
another, which is,
And you basically choose like you said, it's a fancy dialogue tree that you can fail at.
yeah.
No.
But I think that like you could make it so interesting if like when the mini game starts, it like gives you a chessboard scenario,
Right.
and how you because the way this logic tree works is that like the characters have like will have some kind of, how to say, like they have several stages, right?
Yeah. And they
Where
usually
it's
have
like
like a tell.
yeah, and some questions will like not clear that stage, but they will lead up, they are necessary to help clear that stage. And I'm like, I think that you could so easily make a thing where it's like there's like a chessboard and different questions are represented by different pieces, and there are different questions that you ask that like will move the pieces into a different location to like corner a piece, but will not take a piece yet.
Yeah.
And of course, this would not work because it would require people actually knowing how to play chess.
Yeah. But there's something there to like it is a thing that I think about constantly is like how do you marry gameplay to like characters, and like mechanics, and like that gets closer to also like the weirdness, which is bust into just tearing into the series. It is weird also that it's about proving people innocent still more than it is like proving people guilty. Which I guess they don't know how to write other games.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
mean, I think for specific, like I think the first game is the weaker out of the two investigation games, but I
Yeah.
think it's kind of interesting in the second game because Edgeworth does have like a moment of crisis where he's like, do I want to be a defense attorney instead of a prosecutor? And that's kind of like the main question that he
Right.
grapples with throughout the game.
It would feel almost like the developers reconciling with the first game that they've made. And they go, wait a minute, we just made him a defense attorney again.
Oops.
Uh-oh. Well, we can do this. We can do this through character writing. And like any smart writer does, mine your own work, I guess,
Yeah.
for material and go, oh, everything that seems weird, that's just me laying the groundwork for something in the future.
Exactly.
But that has been my like. So if you're not playing games, do you remember the last time you had played a game? Or I mean, maybe it was recently, but
The last game that I played was on March 28th, and that was when I finished Ace Attorney Investigations 2.
Okay, so we're on very similar life paths right now.
Yeah, we're in very similar life paths.
I did buy all the other whatchamacallit, the guy that directed Mr. 999. In anticipation of like I'll play these eventually. But
The Zero Escape trilogy,
yeah, and then
or the Nonary games,
and then those AI
Nonary.
Somnium, AI Solenium.
Oh yeah, they sure made those games as well.
Yeah, I
So
like.
that sounded like very aggressive. I like the AI. Okay, I can't say AI games now.
Yes, I know what you mean. Though we know what you mean. It's the secret of context,
Yeah, no, someone will clip it and my career will be ruined.
You go, I love
AI. Harsh cutoff. But yeah, I think they're fun. I enjoy it. I definitely like the 999 games. The Zero Escape games the most. My issue with the AI, the Somnium Files thing is that they have puzzle rooms, but the puzzle rooms are very nonsensical, and there isn't really much logic as to how you figure things out. I think that they're fun, but it's like you just kind of like poke different buttons and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean that is also
Walk around and find out.
Yes, right. That right. Fuck around, exactly like you said, as a game mechanic. That is also like. That's a classic Ace Attorney problem of like, I know the answer, but I'm not presenting it in the right way, even though I'm like, there's like 6 roads to this path, but they want their one road,
Mm.
The greatest challenge of. Well, Wacky, what's up? Do you play? What do you think? What do you think about these video game things? You think there's how many
These
years? Do
video
you think,
game things.
yeah, how many years do you think these video game things have got left in them? 1, 2, maybe.
I don't know. I've not played Ace Attorney, so I don't really know what to say about Ace Attorney,
Oh, you don't
honestly.
need to. Don't worry. But I'm just talking like video games in general. What are you up to? What are your feelings with video games?
I don't know. Lately, I've been like, I like can't finish video games lately. I'm not gonna lie. I've been like starting games,
Yeah.
but then I end up not finishing them. Like I started replaying Wadnohara and the Great Blue Sea, and then I didn't finish my replay. And then I've been starting a lot of like BL visual novels, and then I end up not finishing them also. So
Yeah. I mean that's also like the curse of like art, you know. That takes, yeah, especially because like visual novels, most of them are probably taking a long time, you know.
yeah, they're long. I mean, I have a lot of fun with them, but there's also a point where I'm like, I feel like somehow I don't want it to end. I feel like sometimes I like a game, and because I like it, I don't want to finish it, and then I don't finish it because I liked it,
Yes.
and then I forget, to finish it later, and I'm like, wait, I was supposed to do that.
That was a similar experience I had growing up, where I had a million unfinished RPGs, you know, that were just like right near the end somewhere
Yeah, yeah.
that I could have probably finished, but I just like weird like not finishing a bunch of RPGs basically until adulthood, you know, and going back and revisiting them, which is maybe like a better time to have revisited them in the first place.
It's true. You can like, I don't know, understand the story a bit better. Yeah.
Yes, in adulthood I have a greater appreciation for my man Squally and Hart. You know, I'm like, I get you, dude.
You understand now.
Yeah, he's just like, he's not actually a brooding tough guy. He's just a sad guy who puts up a front, and like
Aw.
very obviously within the game. Like it's not even the subtext of his character, it's the text of his character. But it's fun to revisit things from youth and go, oh right, this is what it actually was, and then also what pop culture warps things into.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've got reading comprehension now.
Yes,
Exactly. Yeah. We have media literacy.
it's a
Yeah.
it's a cool thing to have it, and also like context of stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm like, because that is also like an easy thing, like to just like miss context, or sometimes like revisit things without the usual context that they existed in, you know, of, this thing initially came out, you know, among a bunch of other things that were similar to it, so it got kind of compared to it. Even in some cases they weren't similar enough, you know. But sometimes kind of get sort of unfairly categorized, you know. And I think that's why art gets kind of like revisited constantly and recontextualized. Because people come to them later and they're like, oh, right, you know, remove Haunting Ground from like the success of Resident Evil and all the games around it. And you're like, oh, this is an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is like something that I do love just about like art in general. But like my pretentious, if you want to call it that, opinion is that like art is very much a conversation between the person who made it and the person who is viewing it, and the person who is viewing it in particular, the context of their existence is going to change rapidly depending on like who they are right now, and like what time in the world they are reading it. Like recently I've been going through Ursula Le Guin's Left Hand of Darkness for the first time, which has been an interesting read in 2026. And it's just like, I don't know. I think that it's neat how art can change meaning and in its consumption of its current era and location,
Yeah, like
or something like that.
I get what you're saying, because when you were saying that, something that came to mind of like, Oh, so like if you extend the metaphor out, like the sort of like modern, like the rapid kind of, whether you call it discourse or public conversation, kind of dilutes the conversation you have with the art and kind of makes it like,
Yeah.
when you're hanging out and someone is just explaining someone to you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or they're talking for someone,
Yes.
and that's kind
Like
of
you
like,
can't engage with it by itself when there's like a lot of other people like also talking about it.
right. You're trying to talk to someone and their friend keeps going, oh, well, tell them about this and tell them about this, and they're not letting their friend you're trying to talk to say any stories or like prompt any conversation. They just keep
Like the interaction becomes like less authentic.
yeah, right. It becomes sort of like secondhand. And there's like,
This is
yeah.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is actually why, like, for me, if it's like if it's a game that is like not like a super niche weird indie game, I either need to play it like right when it comes out before people have formed proper opinions on it, or like minimum a year later.
Right. Yes. I likewise get to things well after the fact. Like I think the last game I played around release was speaking of to bring it back to hyperlocal events, the last game I played on release because I had backed it was Perfect Tides. And,
So Narrowscope was exciting for you.
Narrowscope was exciting for me. Well, I mean, I've Meredith has been on the show even before.
Oh wow.
But that was also like not a thing I was engaging with in conversation for the first time. That was coming from me, Andrew, the longtime fan of Octopus Pie, going, "Oh, that person made a game. Let me try it. I'm looking forward to the game that they make." That's what it took me to drag me to playing a modern release. So if you want me to play your new video game release, all you have to do is make one of the greatest comics ever made, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Just do that, or submit it, I guess, to the zine. Then I'm forced to play it. But it is like the weirdness of like how many big games kind of like disappear, become like so invisible after like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely the question of like, especially like, I mean, it's always prevalent, but definitely like release timing of things. It's something that I'm thinking about a lot right now with
Right.
like GTA 6 kind of perpetually just being a thing.
Right, especially when you need a game to be your job and sell well,
Yeah.
When it's,
Awesome.
right, when it's not like, oh, I'm just a hobbyist and this is like, I do want people to see my game, and it's like, oh, too bad if no one saw it. Well, it's good because then it turns into, oh, if no one saw it, I have to get a new job.
Yerp.
Which is like the real cursed way we like money. It's a real scam. I can't believe we've been doing it for so long. A real rough operation we've tricked ourselves into.
Yeah.
But listen, I can't do anything about that conceptually. I decided years and years ago, like, well, what I will do is hyper focus on this very specific small scale thing that I can do, which is give indie devs like $60 or whatever.
Yay.
Which is like not a lot, but
That's almost a video game.
right.
A AAA
Yeah.
video game.
You could in theory, buy a video, get Indiepocalypse, and use that to fund yourself buying another video game. But one of those bigger,
Or buy another copy of Indiepocalypse.
Yes, you could buy like 3-4 of those. Get the 4 of those bad boys with.
Whoa.
You just crank those out. And I mean that is just all I'm doing really. Just I don't spend money on anything really besides art because I don't know what else I would want. I don't want to buy stuff for myself. I guess it is for myself, but it's not like stuff. Stuff that like doesn't do anything.
You're contributing to the creative economy.
Yeah, right. Like there's the old adage of like, indie art is just trading the same $5 back and forth forever.
Yep.
And
Yup.
but my goal with Indiepocalypse is now I've upped that to us trading $20 back and forth together around forever.
Whoa.
I know.
Huge.
That gets eaten up by PayPal payments a lot shorter, a lot more.
Gulps.
It lasts
That's why
longer.
you gotta go to in-person events, because then you can just pass the same bill
Yes.
around.
Yes, truly the exact same bill. And, I mean, that was the thing that people like forgot about with like payment processors is people forget about this thing called breaking the law, and also not telling people things.
Oops.
Because you can just do that. This is by my kind of semi-weekly reminder to people. You can just do, if you don't like things, you just not do them sometimes. And most of the times you don't even get in trouble because no one's paying attention to you.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you'll just be mostly fine. I mean, it's a greater problem that needs to get solved, but in the microcosm, in the moment, in the meantime, hey, just don't not do things, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
Man.
like I've been thinking about like, oh, this is what I was secretly going to talk about the break. I was going to name it specifically. Like I've been thinking about, you know, you're talking about narrowscope and it being for adults, and I was thinking about like how, you know, indie game events are very like kid, all ages kind of centric, no matter what. I feel like at every scale I've ever gone to. If they're like not conferences, you know, they're like events that are like people are playing games besides maybe Amaze, I would say. But all the other ones are very like, oh, they're safe for all ages, you know, they're for kids or something.
Yeah. There have been like several local events that I know that friends have gotten rejected from, even though their games are like not super mature.
Yes,
but
we're talking
they're
about the
not
same
like
one, I think.
Yeah.
But it makes me like, that's also why it's all like snowballs into all these things where it's like, oh right, well people will tell you can't sell games to kids or whatever because games are thought of an immature medium because of also like all this kind of culture supports it, you know.
Yeah.
My local indie comic show, you know, Mice, has all sorts of what one would consider to be objectionable material for children, but tons of children are there, and they have, at least in the past years, put like balloons on like kid-friendly booths, which I think is a very smart way of doing it, you know, because you can like intermingle stuff. You just need to like, you know, have it like available for like make those demarcations, but like you gotta make spaces, I feel like, for like more challenging art, even if it's not even really that challenging, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a little bit of, maybe they say bad words sometimes.
Just like not completely scrubbed down.
Yes, because if you can't even say bad words, then like the actual challenging art like is definitely not allowed in.
You got to say unalive.
Yes.
TikTok censorship.
I got a warning from YouTube. I'm not gonna say the name of the game because I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out. Oh, we lost him, maybe.
Is it the mic or probably the mic?
I assume the beautiful. Oh, it is. Well, I'm trying to think of things to be entertaining now.
Yeah.
It's gone rogue.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, we're back. Oh, phew.
Google got to me. They came to my house. They had to do a wellness check. They're like, are you fine?
Okay.
But because it was like, I'm gonna paste the game into. There was a game. Let's say, let's just say the acronym for it. Oh, you can, if you just search this the game is the first result. But I was talking to a game developer who made a game that goes by SYWAR. If you, and it is a piece of a graphic challenging art. And then YouTube sent me a thing and it's like, "You doing okay, buddy?" And I was just because we had mentioned the name of the game.
Oh yeah, huh? I see the game now.
Yes.
I was like, what could this potentially stand for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, and I got that notification, like, wait, what happened? Like, what's going on? What did I miss? And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, oh, I got you. I see what happened.
Yeah.
Algorithms don't know how to engage with art.
Yeah, not even a little bit.
They just
It's like, or well, all they know how to do is they know how to put up like a phone number on the screen and say like don't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
We sent you this email, I guess.
Washing our hands clean now. We did it. We did our dues.
Yes. We are free of culpability now. You signed up for Disney Plus, so you can't sue us.
Yep.
But it is like, it's I think about it. It's a thing that I think about a lot. Because like someone had asked me once before, like, what's a good Indiepocalypse for kids? And I was like, none of them, really. Or like all of them. Like, is your kid like cool and precocious? Because actually, I feel like Indiepocalypse is actually like, if I was a teen, like, damn, dude, I would love this shit. Like, teens like cool stuff still, right?
Yeah.
They want to like push boundaries and like find like the exciting fringes of art, I assume.
Yeah, surely.
Surely we have not aged out of it since I've been a teen. And I think that is like so I think when you have like games that are just kind of like, oh well, it's a thing that we're familiar with, the human being has been safely scrubbed out of it into mechanics that you understand. Your little guy runs around and he gets level up points and you spend them on things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, I don't know, forget about it.
Forever and ever.
Yeah. But that little guy did get a bunch of level up points. But then you lost them all because it's a roguelike, because those are video games nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Deck builder, whatever.
Yeah. I'm building my roguelike Indiepocalypse. Every time you close it, it deletes itself. You have to buy another copy. Anything like that. We need more roguelike. Anyway, infinite replayability of games. It's very. I'm not wading into video games. I don't care enough. I don't care enough about video games to talk about them, which is a silly way to.
Yeah.
Which really means I don't care enough about like industry,
Yeah.
Which is like a different kind of video game.
It is definitely an odd situation where when to like people outside of the I mean, I think this is at least semi true of any industry, but like you're considered on the same stage. Like all the AAA stuff and all the indie stuff is all on Steam.
Yes.
It's just it's the same platform and same algorithm pushing stuff, and like you just kind of got to live with it, huh?
Right. But it's a weird thing where it's like, imagine if like a local band was worrying about having to book the same venue as Taylor Swift, You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, all the bands that I like to see are in like someone's basement.
Yes.
And it's cash only to enter.
Yes, I was talking about someone was on the show earlier. They're talking about they're going to school in like whatever, like Iowa or Idaho or, somewhere out in the middle of nowhere-ish U.S. And talking about like, yeah, we still have basement punk shows around here, because everywhere does. And it's like, damn, video games don't have like basement shows. And like, how do we get video game basement shows,
Yeah.
How do you like, because like if one needs to seek like a solution to indie, like I feel like it's like a very fundamental, you need to start from scratch doing something,
Mm-hmm.
You have to. It has to be in a way that's like unreplicatable. You know. Like I've thought about this before with like, you know, if the zine ever does well, it's not like, oh, I tripped onto like you should do wish list or whatever. It's like, oh no, you should just spend 7 years cultivating relationships with a bunch of indie developers, you know, and doing publishing at a loss. Like it's like, you know, like a not replicatable kind of like at scale industry. In the same way that like doing basement shows is not replicatable for huge bands.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't there that one band that did do, okay, it wasn't, I don't think it was a basement show, but they did like a backyard show relatively recently. I saw a Twitter, I might have seen a Twitter post about it like 2 years ago. But it was like this one like big band that is like popular. Was it Fallout Boy? I don't know. Maybe I'm just making stuff up. But I remember there was like a big thing about it.
That sounds right. You know, I was like, how do I look that up? I typed big band backyard show, which will accomplish nothing because big band is a thing. You know.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Let me try popular. Will that work? 1 year ago, All American Rejects Backyard Concerts Explained, says TikTok.
Okay, so All American Rejects.
Yeah,
okay,
you were,
so I was on the right track.
Yes, you're in the right area, I think. I feel like that, like not having listened to it, that seems like a similar vibe.
Surely. I also don't listen to All American Rejects very much.
But it is like, yes, you have, but there is like the impractical solutions, you know, that are more like DIY. You know, like whatever, like game tapes. You know, doing DIY physical indie releases is not going to make anyone rich, you know, anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no reason why not everyone should do them, you know.
Yeah.
In the same way that, like, you know, every band, like, how many bands usually like, yeah, we can burn stuff on a CD. We'll burn stuff on a CD. Artists will make zines. Like indie dev doesn't think about like there's sustainability in the small scale, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that like supports the artists in the meantime too, you know. Like between like, you know, if you think of like between actual like you know, whatever, like art gigs, you can still go to like Zine Fest and like indie comic shows or whatever, or anime con, and still like connect with other artists and be like, oh, I'm an artist in this space even if I'm between jobs.
Yeah.
And I feel go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to just like on like the topic of like art conventions and stuff. I don't do art conventions myself, but I like am very much adjacent to the space where I've like helped people table, and I have a lot of friends who do it constantly. As their full-time job and whatever.
Right. If
and
you really hustle at it and you can draw those Gokus well or whatever.
It's crazy, and it's also such like a weird and scary industry because it's in such a weird legal gray area because so it's like gulp.
Right. If anyone just changes their mind one day, this entire industry just collapses.
Yep.
No more fan merch.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Or like fan merch, but only like truly only Hoyoverse stuff, because I think that is like one of the few things that like not that I think one of the reasons that MiHoYo has or is it Hoyo? I don't remember which one they are right now. That company has such crazy success is because they completely understand their fan ecosystem and how important their fans are to their success, and pour so much. And they have like twice a year they have like those like fan fest things where they just like commission artists in the community to make like fan songs and AMVs and animations and whatever. Anyway, my point is, I think like I could see like basically every other fan community, like if I heard some stupid they decide like, no, we're gonna kill that.
Yeah.
But I think that like Hoyoverse completely understands how important that is to their like would understand that like they're shooting themselves in the foot if
Right.
they were to do that.
Right. It's only like getting more people interested in the thing. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like you have the resources to be like Hoyoverse has the resource to make like a million prints and charms and buttons and everything. Like just like they have probably the financial resource, but like the logistic resources, of like, well, how would you do it? Where would you sell it? Do you have like a booth? Like, why have one Hoyoverse booth when you can have 20 at an event?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they also recognize that like like they do make official merch, but they recognize that fans making merch is not detracting from the
Right.
sales of their official merch because the people will just buy every piece of like
Yeah.
in general. I feel like official merch is as long as the official merch is not just like the same marketing asset repasted on a t-shirt over and over again. Generally, official merch is seen as I don't want to say more valuable, but it's like
Right.
people will prioritize
Yes.
getting that generally over fan merch because it's like there's less unknowns. They're like, this is an official thing that I can buy and I will get it. And if I don't get it, then I can talk about it. And the quality is more generally more assured.
Yeah.
I'm obviously speaking in like very, very, very broad strokes from like a
Yes.
consumer standpoint.
Right. And it's probably like, more inherently in the style of what you know already and what you like,
Yeah.
Whereas like plenty of artists probably working, fan artists working styles that you don't like, some you like more, but you like, oh, this is a style that I like, and this is
Yeah.
also a lot easier to find because you just go to the place's website instead of like trying to track down someone's big cartel,
Yeah.
or track them down a convention.
Yeah.
But that's also the other trick. Video games, I mean, there are fan games, but like video games don't have fan art, so to speak.
Mm.
At least in a similar scale.
And it's so much hard. It's like I think there's just such like a bigger barrier of entry to game dev than with fan art because like everyone that's like been kind of the stare like when I started my YouTube channel, that's the thing, the barrier that I'm trying to break down is that like, yeah, making games is like hard, but I don't think it is that much as hard as everyone seems to think it is. I in like the very simplest sense.
Yeah.
Like obviously, I think making video games is like both harder and easier than everyone thinks it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where on like a personal on like a very very small scale level I truly truly think that like so long as you have the resources like you have like a computer that you can work on and you have the time to do so, I think that everyone can make a game of any sort. But I don't, it's just a matter of like what game you are making and what scale you're making. People in their minds too easily conceptualize, they're like, oh, I want to make, I don't know, cyberpunk.
Yes.
And it's like, well, you're not gonna, sorry.
Let me just crack open Unreal real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like making games is more like doable than a lot of people think. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I literally got RPG Maker on like this really old like business laptop that I have that I got for like my laptop is so old. It's like I think and it's cheap. I got it for like $200 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I literally started with RPG Maker on this crappy thing and like anyway, I don't know. It's like the barrier of entry to start isn't as high as people think. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I bought a computer for about $200, let's say 15 years ago, and it still runs most games. Like I still use my Indiepocalypse demo game computer, and it'll run pretty much all those games. Like,
Whoa.
and it was not it was not like a gamer laptop or anything, just a regular straight down the middle like HP, like very budget.
Exactly.
And it's like, I always think about, I met someone at PAX East once, and she was like, I'm an illustrator. I'm trying to think getting in the games. And I recommended small engines to like, oh, just try to make a small engine. That we can like make something. And then seeing on Instagram, like, I don't know, a week later, even like maybe I may have been like a few days later, like, oh, I made my first game in Bitsy. I was like, yeah, you can make a game so quickly.
Yeah.
And like, and even working in these like smaller engines still like gets you in like the brain of like the logic of like more open like tool, like, like Unreal or Unity or GameMaker or Godot or anything. These things that are like more open coding and programming kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can still at least pick up some of the logic behind, like, in RPG Maker and things like that.
It's like, oh, you need global variables.
Yes.
That keep track of things.
Yeah.
And then also, here's this little secret about code: no one sees it, so it can be shitty and terrible.
Yep.
And
It's true.
And like, as long as it works, that's all that matters. It can be held together by the flimsiest pasted together giant collection of if else statements. If all those if else statements if none of them crash the game, then I think you're good.
Yeah, basically.
And that is it's too easy to get caught up in like I don't know, overthinking games and like overscale, because also people don't talk about like the scale of games and how much games how long games take to make.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot about what was that that time loop space game that it sounds like another game.
Outer Wilds. I've not played it yet, but I really want to though.
It's likewise, but I remember when it came out, and it was like, yeah, it was like 2019, 2019, and it was when it was like, oh, what was it? I was trying to see on the Wikipedia page if it had like, oh yeah, right, so it comes out in 2019, and like IGF is like, congrats to our like 2015 best in show or whatever game. It's like, all right, just a casual 4 years working on a game, not knowing how many years they worked on it before that happened. Like to get to that point to get to that IGF submission in the first place. I think people have, like, underestimate, like, oh yeah, just spend 6-7 years working on a game, one game. It's easy.
It's such like a. This is kind of the how to say thing that makes me sad, like about a lot of people who are breaking into indie dev, because they see that sort of a thing and they're like, yep, the first game that I make is going to be that, when they've never made anything else before in their life for indie dev, for like an indie game. And so they're like, they don't know how, like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm like losing my train of thought.
Right,
But
no.
you know what I mean? Where it's like they
yeah.
they get very excited because they have like a cool idea, and they're like, yep, it's going to take me a decade to make this game.
Right.
But they have like so much to learn about like
Exactly.
games and like the things that you can do with games. And I'm not necessarily talking even in like, oh, idiot, you don't know anything, unlike me or whatever. But it's just like for me personally, even outside of just like my understanding of how to use engines, illustration, design, etc., the things that I want people to take away and the messages that I want to convey in the games and in the art that I make now are not completely different, but pretty different from like, like 6-7 years ago, when I was like entering college and figuring, like being like, yes, I want to make games for a living, and that's just like by nature of interacting with a medium and seeing what it can do and figuring out what you want to do with it.
Yeah,
Or
like
something.
I have, I was noodling around local game dev stuff years before I even started Indiepocalypse, and there is also games that I've seen people working on that are still not out yet since then. Also, people, when you're around like scenes long enough, you see people like basically cycle out. Like, oh, they're working on a game. The game came out, it didn't do that well. They're gone forever. You never see them again. Because that's seen as, it's easy to see that as the only mode of like game dev is like commercially viable, commercial success. If you can't do that, you just don't do it at all. Which I think it's disappointing. I think how do you not get people just like piecing out and being done with game dev? Like, how do you find like a healthier space to live in that is not like that all or nothing? And I don't have a solution for it.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of an impossible problem. Because it's like, oh yeah, just people pay more attention to stuff. But it's like, oh, you need to fundamentally change a lot of the culture.
Yeah. Oh, I had nothing. I was just kind of sadly agreeing.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like I've also like seen this a lot because like I don't know, I take like I'm still in college, but I'm like I don't know, I'm like a second year in college, and I'm in like a game illustration course, and like I don't know, a lot of my classmates, it's like the only thing they can really think about is making their dream game instead of like doing the assignment sometimes, or like making a small game, and I'm like I don't know, like they always have like this one idea that they're like super passionate about, and I think that's nice that they can like have something that they have super like well developed, but I also feel like it's not very healthy to put all of your eggs in one basket like that.
Yeah, like you're almost trapping yourself to like, this thing has to succeed or else
Yeah, exactly.
I'm done. It all collapses and I'm fully.
Exactly, yeah.
And then you like fully just vanish. Like, oh yeah, right. And now I just don't do anything. I just don't do it anymore. It creates like, I don't know,
Yeah.
this unhealthy cycle.
Mm.
And that's when you're still in school. When you're in school, you're supposed to be messing around and just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
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 Like that's I always try to tell, like, when I see professors and stuff, I'm like, yeah, tell them all about this. Tell all the students about this, because this is where students are supposed to be messing around and doing weird stuff that like is unmarketable and like weird, and like it's before they have school is before you should have the anxiety of being like marketable or commercial.
Yeah.
And you should have all like the glorious pleasure of just like being self-indulgent. But we are cresting close to 2 hours of doing this show. So does anyone have, as we start to land this plane, any non-promotional things that they want to say, questions, comments, etc., as we start to wrap this show up?
I've transcended beyond desires, so I've got nothing to say.
Perfect.
Wow. I was just gonna say thank you for having me. Yep.
Oh, and that too.
Well, that is,
and also that.
Yes. Speaking of that, chat here with a late breaking question. Do you have favorite? Do you any? I do not have favorite colors. I have very little favorites. Anythings. But do either of you have a favorite color?
I like pink.
My favorite is red orange.
Perfect. Like I said earlier, I have 0. You will not extract a favorite from me of anything.
Damn.
I do not live my life that way.
Real color centrist.
No, I'm a color anarchist.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
How dare
Understood.
How dare you paint with that brush? I spend all my time on r/anarchy. Whatever. Carefully organizing with my fellow online anarchists to just post a lot and not really do anything or whatever. whatever
Mhm.
people do online.
Yeah. Hell if I know.
Yeah. Get off of that thing. Get off of the internet.
Yeah.
There's always a VOD. If you subscribe to the Patreon, you get the radio show on the Monday afterwards. But otherwise, you gotta wait like 2 weeks because
On Spotify, I
and
think.
on Spotify, on wherever you find your favorite podcast, and on YouTube.com
Whoa.
slash
Wow.
something or other.
Indiepocalypse,
Yes.
perhaps.
I don't think so. I don't think I have that.
Oh.
I don't remember. But I don't. If I do this show for like another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, I might be able to have monetizable YouTube videos. So holding
Wow.
out. I think I have in doing two. I think I from based on my Twitch metrics, I get about $50 every 100 episodes of doing this show. Which is, like 100 streams for $50. That's not that bad. I assume in the grand scheme of like Twitch stuff, that probably puts me in an upper percentile.
Hell if I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't wish that. Hey, shout out if you can do that. I don't wish that lifestyle on anybody. Seems exhausting. Anyhow. Hey Mocha, if people are looking to find your stuff, where do you want to point them to find that stuff?
If you search up Mocha Devs, Moka Devs, on most social medias, whether that be Tumblr, Twitter, or X, or whatever the hell you want to call it, Blue Sky, Itch, or YouTube is where I'm allegedly doing a lot of things recently.
Yes,
Though,
as of 3 months ago.
as of 3 months, it's really more 4 months ago.
Right.
Scratches my head.
I did not listen. I did not click through to the video to check the exact publish date to really hold your feet to the fire on this.
But yeah, I like to talk about games, whether they be ones that I make or ones that are like little indie games that I find the development history of pretty
Yeah.
interesting. And I actually released a game, a weird little puzzle game last week, The Vault of Dr. Basilia, and then allegedly I'll be releasing another one before the end of this month with my dear friend Mini Starfruit and Sarah's Fish. Yup,
Yeah.
that's me. Yay!
Yeah, all this stuff, even if you don't make a video within 4 months, hey, that doesn't mean all the other ones do not exist,
Allegedly.
Yes.
That is the nice thing about YouTube. I did used to stream on Twitch like 5 times a week, and that was so exhausting.
Right.
Hard, yeah.
I can only imagine. But who is this? But another like they work on fostering. I need to. I'm looking at game developers through your pages. I was looking at people you're working with. And I was like, do I know them? I think I know them. I can
Which beautiful friends of mine.
I'm looking over at Marimo right now.
Yes, yeah, Marmo. You might. They're working on with Girium / HG. They're working on Who Done It, which is a wonderful, wonderful game about figuring out who the hell you hooked up with last night, and it's like genuinely like the most beautiful Renpai game I have ever seen in my life. Highly recommend. That's and it's in the Power of Pride bundle if you want to get it there. That's number one. And then there are also Marimo in particular has worked on a lot of stuff with like Insert Disc 5. Like he's working on Truth Scrapper right now. And has worked on like other projects with them. So that is like the larger stuff that you'll know them by. But
Yeah, and
yeah, they're good friends of mine. Smiles.
there's a lot of like it's just getting me thinking about, or reminding me of like, hey, the benefit of just work with a lot of different people, kind of very like no studios, just like hey, you can make games with people informally, or it's not like you have to have
Yes.
studios.
Yeah.
Yes, this is my favorite method of making games, honestly.
Yeah, you just like, hey, let's all make a game right now, and then we're done. Let's make a game later, and then let's make some games with some other people, and etc. And now I'm thinking about it, and is more people adding to my tab list of people, of things to think
Yes.
about.
I can poke the two of them.
I'm always thinking about things, though. So I'm always looking to track down people and expand the weird reach of this whole project or whatever it is. I don't know. I just like to talk to people. If this was ever about profit, I would have stopped it a million years ago. I just like art a lot, and it gives me a cool way to think about it.
Yeah.
It's my weird reverse Patreon that I run every month. Speaking of people who are in this weird reverse Patreon I run every month, Wecky, if people are looking for your work, where can they find that work?
I go by Weki on like most social medias. I mostly use Twitter. My handle is just WEKKI_I.
Perfect.
Don't ask what the _I means. There's nothing. It doesn't
Yes.
mean anything.
And if you're that is, yes, find them there. Find the itch version, which I posted, is just a dash instead of an underscore, but same idea.
Yeah. Yep.
And find
Line.
those. Perfect.
Horizontal line.
That said, of course, you can find Indiepocalypse just at indiepocalypse.com. It's a great place to find it because that's what the website's called. That's where you can go there. You can buy games. If you do things like buy issue 75, one of our nice guests here will get money at some point in the future. I think I'll actually do it money time soon, but I kind of screwed myself over with like burning through my PayPal balance, and I was like, I wanted to send mass payments, but oops, I need money in my balance to do that. So I need to send too many people money at once. But rest assured, you've got cash on the way, and if you want, you get more cash on the way as well to be part of that vaunted club of getting $6 every, I don't know, 6 to 9 months or so.
$6.
Yeah. You can buy
$6.
You can buy stuff with $6 sometimes.
Sometimes.
But
This economy.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you're right. This economy, what can $6 buy anymore? Soon they're going to be recalling the $1 bills and the $5 bills. There'll be nothing left to buy. But that's it. No, that is the end of that. If you want to join Indiepocalypse, of course, indiepocalypse.com/submit is how you get your way there. And if you don't get your way there, but you make cool stuff, eventually, Andrew will come knocking on your door and be like, "Hey, why aren't you giving me your games? I want to highlight your games. You should send them to me." And by send them to me, I mean, include them in this anthology. It's cool if I play them, but I'm like, I want to put them in my big suitcase so everyone can see these games as well. The traveling around with the curation of it all, I think a lot about curation and how curation is important. Obviously, I think that, unsurprisingly, and curation is conversation. That's also a crucial part of curation. If you make the world's coolest library, but nobody ever visits it and nobody ever talks about it, what does it amount to, That's it, I think. Indiepocalypse.com/newsletter/Patreon/etc. To find more stuff related to Indiepocalypse if you think there's a thing you can do there. That's it of the show. That is the end of the show. Mocha, Weki, thank you both for joining me here on that aforementioned show.
Yes, thank you so much.
I still have made a nice library, and then I will hold off on that. I will keep that library built until hopefully somebody will walk into it eventually. That is the Indiepocalypse long-term goal of like, hey, maybe people will look in it eventually. Although maybe people do. That is the true curse of this project, is that it could be doing everything as intended, and like Like if you for instance joined it, and then as part of joining it, you got 1 million people to look at it, your games. There's no way I would know that because I don't see those numbers.
Yeah, it's physical, huh?
Yeah. Or like, hey, people see the list of people in Indiepocalypse and they bypass the zine and go straight to the artist, which would also be a way of working as intended, you know. But it's it's an unverifiable method for me. So I like to think that it is working as intended, and people are checking out when a new issue comes out. People go, cool, 10 new artists that I don't know about, or people that I do know about, and let me check them out. Because they do cool stuff. That said, Mokaweki, thank you both for being here, and thank you for hanging out on the show. We're making our way out of here. We're leaving now. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.